It's a prison, but beautiful women are trying to get in, even giving up fortunes to become inmates. After 99% of people who drank water from the contaminated supply turned into zombies, as a security guard in an abandoned prison, I activated the advanced prison system. By taking in high-scoring beauties as inmates, I earn year coins. Year coins can be exchanged for food, guns, superpowers, and other items, or used to unlock or upgrade prison areas. I'm looking at the billions of year coins the system gave me, considering what to exchange them for, since everything is at level 1. There aren't many things I can exchange for now. The level 1 cafeteria offers basic foods like bread and bottled water, and the level 1 warden's office has a handgun. I bought it for 50 year coins. Anyone who's been through a zombie apocalypse knows it's a lifesaver early on. After getting a weapon, the next step is to recruit female inmates. As I considered advertising, a voice said, "Strangers detected near the prison. Install a main gate surveillance camera, 5 year coins each." For safety, I installed it. The feed connected quickly, and I saw 5 or 6 people outside the gate. When I saw 2 of the women's faces, I was intrigued. The first batch of inmates had arrived. Is anyone here? That's odd. I've never heard of a Nyen women's prison here. Forget the main prison. Let's just go in and hide. Hearing this, I smiled and opened the side door. "Can I help you?" The leader, an older woman, stuck half her body in and said, "Young man, move. We need to hide." I slapped her hand away and said, "This is private property. Leave." I stood inside the door, sizing up the people in front of me. Name, Qin Shiying, age 30, newly married. Attractiveness score 88, meets requirements. Name, Zhang Jiaro, age 26, dumped by her ex-boyfriend. Attractiveness score 85, also meets requirements. Sure enough, these two fit the criteria. Looks like the system's taste matches mine, I thought. Just then, an old man walked over. "Young man, I don't know who you are, but there are monsters outside biting people. You have to let us in." "And why should I let you in?" I replied. "Like I said, this is private property." However, I changed my tone. "This is a women's prison. Men aren't allowed inside. Women can come in, but only those two are allowed." I pointed at Qin Shireen and Zhang Jiaro. Qin Shireen's husband stood next to her. The man with glasses' face darkened at this. "Kid, these are extraordinary times. If you don't let us in, don't blame us for getting rough." "All right, go ahead and try," I replied with a playful smile. The man with glasses glared, then suddenly blocked the entrance. "Everyone get in," but before he finished, a cold handgun pressed to his forehead. "Try moving again," I said, staring at the barrel. The man with glasses froze, cold sweat on his face. He didn't dare bet if the gun was real. Qin Shireen walked over and tugged his sleeve, clearly telling him not to act tough, but that only made him angrier. "Kid, I don't think that's a real gun, and I don't think you'd shoot." Before he finished, the gun fired with a bang. The bullet grazed his cheek. I was gonna kill him, but after learning Qin Shireen was his fiancée, I changed my mind. Killing him might complicate winning over Qin Shireen. Zombies. Zombies are coming. Suddenly, Zhang Jiaro's scream drew everyone's attention. Probably because of the gunshot, a zombie staggered out from the edge of our sight. The auntie who had just been slapped turned, saw the zombie, and her face went pale. She rushed toward the prison, shouting, "Let me in! Let me in!" Seeing this, I didn't hesitate and shot her dead. After that, chaos broke out. Qin Shireen reacted quickly, using the commotion to pull the man with glasses into a bus to hide. Seeing this, I narrowed my eyes. There's no way I'm letting the female prisoner I want get away. I immediately shot out all 4 tires of the bus. The gunshots attracted more zombies. At this moment, only Zhang Jiaro stood at the gate. "Are you coming in or not?" By now, Zhang Jiaro was terrified. On one side were zombies, on the other a man with a gun. Anyone with sense knew which side to choose. "Let me in. I want to go into the prison." I smirked, reached out, and pulled Zhang Jiaro inside. Then I glanced at the bus window where Qin Shireen's frightened, beautiful face was visible. I sneered, "Sooner or later, this woman will beg to come in." After that, I closed the gate and turned to Zhang Jiaro. "All right, you're inside now. You're safe." Zhang Jiaro was still a bit nervous. "Is it really safe here?" "Don't worry, it's safe, but you have to follow the rules." Zhang Jiaro glanced at my tall figure, bit her lip, and nodded. After Zhang Jiaro entered the prison and passed through the main gate, the first room was the changing room. Since it was a first-level changing room, the decor and furnishings were simple. "Since you've chosen to stay in my prison, there are some rules I have to tell you. This is a women's prison. From now on, you're my prisoner. And as a prisoner, the most important thing is to obey. If you can't do that, you can leave now." Hearing this, Zhang Jiaro quickly shook her head. "Please don't make me leave. I'll do as I'm told." I took out women's prison clothes. "Your first order, change into these. As a prisoner, you can't bring personal belongings." The label said, "Women's prison uniform," but it didn't look like one. It was a black and white JK, Japanese schoolgirl outfit. Zhang Jiaro's face turned red. "I'm an adult. How can I wear a JK uniform?" Seeing the pistol at my waist, she took the clothes, lowered her head, and said, "I need to change. Can you step outside?" "Don't worry, I'm not interested in watching, but I need to check if you've been bitten by zombies." Hearing this, Zhang Jiaro teared up. She wanted to argue, but couldn't find a reason. 10 minutes later, Zhang Jiaro finished changing. Ding. Detected. Qualified female prisoner. Name bound. Zhang Jiaro. Attractiveness, 85. Daily reward, 85 Nyen coins. Balance, 10,015. Obedience, 28. Please increase it soon. Anyone meeting requirements who enters and puts on the uniform is automatically bound, but this obedience is low. Obedience can be increased in prison, like unlocking the interrogation hall or torture room. For example, upgrading the cafeteria so they can eat better food, but all of that costs coins, so I need to think of another way. After that, I brought Zhang to cell block 1. Every bed here is equipped with a pillow and bedding. Besides that, there's just a sink and a basic squat toilet, nothing else. Although it's simple, in a zombie apocalypse, having a place like this is basically heaven. Sure enough, Zhang didn't think it was bad at all. Instead, she seemed relieved because everything in front of her clearly showed that this really was a prison. But just then, as I stood behind her, I pulled out my handgun and pressed it against the back of Zhang head. Right now, I order you not to turn around, not to make a sound. Do you understand? Zhang trembled all over, her shoulders and limbs shaking, but still, Zhao Huafu nodded. I continued, if you can't do it, if you don't obey completely, I'll personally throw you out to feed the zombies. Zhang trembled even harder, her legs almost unable to support her, but she didn't forget my order not to speak and just nodded desperately. At the same time, I noticed that this woman's obedience level was visibly skyrocketing, shooting up from 28 all the way to 60. Couldn't help but smile a little. 20 minutes later, Zhang obedience level reached 85, and I was very satisfied. From start to finish, Zhang was completely obedient. You've passed. You can speak now. This is your place. I'll call you when it's time to eat. Only then did Zhang start sobbing, but right after I finished, her obedience level increased a bit more. It was a prison, yet all the beautiful women fought to get in, even willing to pay tens of millions just to become obedient female prisoners. Simply because after the world's water was contaminated, 99% of people who drank it turned into zombies. I survived by working as a security guard in an abandoned prison and activated the advanced prison system. Taking in high-scoring beauties as inmates earns yen coins, which can be exchanged for food, guns, supernatural abilities, and other items, or used to unlock or upgrade prison areas. After bringing Zhang under control, I returned to my office and watched her lonely figure on the surveillance cameras. I decided to find her more companions, so I took out my phone, opened the Tianhai University group chat, and changed my name to Warden of Nian Women's Prison. Then I posted photos of food and water boxes with a message. Everyone, this prison is recruiting beautiful women. Unlimited food and drinks. Interested? DM me. This is a full body photo, no filters, just so you know. Only beauties, no dinosaurs. The group chat went wild. What? Did someone from join? Recruiting beauties? Lame. Is this really Nian from class 2, grade 3? How are you not dead? Did the apocalypse mess with your head? The insults poured in. I just chuckled. Many people cursed at me, but even more added me as a friend, guys and girls. I scrolled through the requests and saw Su Yingxue. She was one of Tianhai University's top 3 goddesses. I accepted her request. Soon, Su Yingxue messaged, Yen Ci, is that you? Yes, your warden here. Is campus goddess Su looking to get locked up? Our dorm wants to come. Is that okay? Anyone joining needs to send a photo first, or this prison won't accept you. After a while, Su Yingxue sent 4 photos. The first was herself. As I admired her photo, a system dialog popped up. Name Su Yingxue. Age, 21. Attractiveness score, 93. Meets the requirements. Su replied, Warden, on our way. I checked the others, Zhang Xiaowen, Dong Jin, and Meng Meng. Their scores were high. Her roommates aren't ordinary either. Besides Su Yingxue, others added me. In the end, I confirmed over 20 female college students who met the requirements. I headed out. I went downstairs and used 1,000 coins for a level 1 prison vehicle. The bus had 20 seats, like city buses. But that doesn't mean it can only seat 20. If you squeeze in, fitting 50 isn't a problem. I drove the prison bus slowly, but hadn't gone far before I saw a coach bus ahead. Qin Shuriying, they had a flat tire, so they couldn't run. Though I couldn't get Qin Shuriying out of my mind, now wasn't the time, so I headed straight for building one of the women's dorm at Tianhai University. Su Yingxue had given me the location. After an hour's drive, I reached the campus gate. I went straight to the women's dorm. On the way, I saw a group of 7 or 8 guys. They held iron rods and wooden planks, clearly out looking for supplies. When they saw the prison bus, the short-haired guy leading them waved frantically, shouting for me to stop. I ignored them and stepped on the gas, speeding away. The guys chased the bus for a bit, but soon gave up. President, did you see that junky bus? Why didn't it stop? The short-haired guy, called President, narrowed his eyes at the direction the bus disappeared, then said, if I were the driver, I wouldn't have stopped either. Did you notice? There were words on the side of that bus. Yeah, I saw them. Nian Women's Prison, that sounds familiar, a short guy said. The short-haired guy stroked his chin. Yeah, I saw it in the school group chat. A student named Nian Ci claimed his prison only takes in beautiful women or something. So what he said was true. Maybe he really did go to the girls' dorm. Damn, if we could get into that prison and it's all women, wouldn't that be heaven? The others gathered. President, the girls' dorm is about as far as the supermarket. Let's skip the supermarket and look for that bus instead. What do you think? Agreed. The group changed direction and started following the prison bus from a distance. On the other side, I braked hard and stopped in front of girls' dormitory building number 3. Through the window, I saw zombies crowding the entrance. I grabbed my handgun and fired quickly, taking them down fast. Then I heard a voice from the second floor, likely drawn by the noise. Is that the rescue team? A ponytailed girl opened the window and called quietly. This is the prison bus from Nian Women's Prison. I can only take 20 people, so get on if you're first. If you're ugly, don't bother. I added through the window, then messaged the girls I'd contacted before. The first was Su Yingxue. Am I good enough? The ponytailed girl called again. I looked up. Name Lu Shuangshuang. Age 19. Attractiveness 86. She qualified, so I gave her a thumbs up. come on down. Hearing this, Lu Shuangshuang quickly sprang into action and soon went downstairs. There were a few zombies in the hallway, but not many, so as long as they didn't get too close, it was still possible to get out. At first, Lu Shuangshuang moved cautiously, afraid of making noise that might alert the zombies. But when she saw the bus at the entrance with its back door open, she got so excited she dashed forward. Just then, a zombie appeared on the east side of the hallway, attracted by the noise. It turned and looked at Lu Shuangshuang, startling her so much she cried out. She let out a scream. That did it. The zombie was alerted and started shuffling toward Lu Shuangshuang. I raised my handgun, aiming as I shouted, but before I could tell her to get down, Lu Shuangshuang had already dropped. With 2 shots, the zombie collapsed. This was the first girl I'd rescued at the school, so I had to establish a persona. Stick with me and you'll be safe. After making sure there were no more zombies, I turned to Lu Shuangshuang and said, "Don't be scared, get on the bus." Lu Shuangshuang was already terrified, shaking and unable to muster any strength. "I can't stand up, Brother Jiang, can you help me?" Lu Shuangshuang said, trembling. "No," I said, "crawl over here." "Okay." She nodded and started crawling to the van bit by bit. After much effort, she climbed onto the vehicle. I looked at her, lips dry, and tossed a bottle of water from the driver's seat. "Here, drink, there's plenty." Lu Shuangshuang's eyes lit up. She grabbed the bottle and gulped it down. Since the red mist broke out, all tap water had turned dark red and was undrinkable. She finished the bottle of water quickly. Lu Shuangshuang licked her lips, then looked timidly at Nian. Brother Nian, do you have more water?" Hearing this, I pulled out another bottle but didn't hand it over. "Call your prettiest friends and have them all come with you into the prison. Then this bottle is yours." Before coming, he'd already told his roommates that if the prison was safe, he'd message them. "You all come down. It's really safe here with Brother Nian, and there's water to drink." Lu Shuangshuang sent several messages in a row. Soon, 3 women appeared at the entrance, her 3 roommates. 2 were solid 8s, scoring 86 and 87, meeting the system's requirements. But the third was a full-on 180-pound tank. The 3 women tiptoed down and saw the prison van. When the girls saw the water bottle in Lu Shuangshuang's hand, their eyes lit up and they ran toward the prison van. Lu Yuanyu was in the middle, but at the last moment, the other 2 moved aside and rushed to the front, shouting, "Water? I want water!" As she was about to step onto the van, I pointed my gun at her. "Get down. My prison doesn't want you." Lu Yuanyu froze, looking at me, confused and angry. "Why?" "Because this prison is mine," I said. "Take one more step and you'll see your great-grandmother." Lu Yuanyu stood there, feeling wronged. More people started to arrive. Some were people I'd contacted earlier through Hinian on Green Bubble. Others came down after hearing the commotion. I picked 18, calling over all the pretty ones, now over 20. Seeing this, I handed Lu Shuangshuang a bottle of mineral water. "This is your reward. I want everyone to know that in Yan Yan Women's Prison, rewards and punishments are clear." Lu Shuangshuang brought 2 beauties. She gets a reward. Some quick-thinking girls moved closer. "How do you get this reward?" "Just message your prettiest friends to come." The girl looked confused. "Oh," then turned to Nian Ci. "Brother Nian, if my friends come, will they get water?" I glanced at her. She was a solid 9 out of 10. Her name was Shen Chinga, the prettiest girl in the car. "Don't start yet, there's no more room. I'll take you all to the prison first, then come back." Shen Chinga put down her phone, a bit disappointed, then leaned close to me. "Brother, I'm really thirsty. Can you give me a bottle of water?" "Don't worry, I know lots of beautiful girls." Looking at her face right in front of me, I reached out and touched her. Shen Chinga didn't shy away. She leaned in closer. Seeing this, I laughed and handed her a bottle of water. "Since you're so thirsty here, thank you, brother." With this, other quick-witted girls came over too, calling brother, brother nonstop. Anyone willing to flatter me, I rewarded. During this time, about 10 more girls arrived, but Su Yingxue still hadn't shown up. As I was sighing and about to drive back to the prison, I caught sight of a few figures out of the corner of my eye. I narrowed my eyes. It was the same group who tried to stop the car earlier, holding weapons. Clearly, they'd followed us and meant trouble. I wasn't afraid and shouted, "If any of you punks come closer, you're dead." They didn't stop. Instead, they sped up, heading for the car door. In an instant, I jumped out of the car, raised my gun, and transformed. Quickly, I emptied the magazine. The short-haired guy farthest away was lucky. The bullets grazed his cheek twice but didn't hit. Terrified, he looked at his fallen roommates, turned and ran, escaping instantly. Seeing this, I sneered but didn't bother chasing a desperate enemy. I understood that. Just as I was about to get back in the car, 4 girls came down the stairs. I looked, it was Su Yingxue, and behind her were the 3 roommates who'd sent me their photos. If not for that unexpected situation, I probably wouldn't have seen this woman today. I wasn't gonna make a fuss about her being late, let's just call it fate. "Does anyone know how to drive?" I asked the girls as soon as we got in the car. Su Yingxue immediately replied, "I do. After high school, my family had me get a license. They even bought me a small car, so I've been driving for over a year." I nodded. Su Yingxue really knows how to show her value. I smiled and took out a piece of bread and a sausage. "Then in the future, you can be my driver. Not right now, your obedience level isn't 90 yet, so I can't assign you a prison job. But this bread and sausage are a big treat for the staff. If you have ability, you'll be rewarded." Seeing this, Su Yingxue was secretly delighted. Before, this wouldn't have meant much, but for someone hungry all day, it's a real delicacy. Not just her. The other girls' eyes were glued to it too. Most hadn't eaten a grain of rice, and after drinking water, their hunger got worse. Since Su Yingxue got in the car, Shin Chinga had been a bit hostile. Seeing him get a reward made her even more hostile, so she moved closer to the bars and said sweetly, "Brother Nien, I'm hungry too. I want a sausage." I took out another sausage. After all, a beautiful woman acting cute is a skill. I said, "Don't worry, everyone. Behave well and you'll all get sausage." Su Yingxue, though, furrowed her brows, feeling the sausage in her hand wasn't as special, and the time was about when we left. The prison van returned to the gate, and I saw Qin Shiying and his group still trapped in the bus. I parked next to them. "Have you decided? Are you coming with me or not?" I rolled down the window and took a sip of water as I spoke. After a day of torment, both Qin Shiying and the guy with glasses looked worn out. The two of them have nowhere to go and can only wait for death. Driven by a strong will to survive, maybe Qin Shiying will make a better decision. Qin Shiying's face turned pale. She hesitated, then gently took the hand of the man with glasses and asked, "Can my husband come?" I shook my head. "Of course not. But if you're willing to come, I can give him 2 bottles of water and some bread." The man with glasses turned red with anger. If it weren't for my gun, he would have started cursing, so he could only turn his anger toward Qin Shiying. "Why are you talking to him? Are you really thinking about going? Do you believe I won't hit you?" Seeing that my goal was achieved, I chuckled and looked at Qin Shiying. "If you change your mind, just contact me anytime using Zheng Jiarou's phone." With that, I stepped on the gas and drove away.
Don't forget to subscribe to DL Toon so you never miss a new hilarious episode.